morning, good noon, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Isalim Piñaranda, and for today's video, we will tackle feelings as a modifier of moral decision making together with my group mates Irish Cabaron, Jason Pusahe, Hyacinth Posadas, Jane Prudente, and Siti Rasul, the leader of our group. And we will explore the influence of various emotions such as empathy, anger, and guilt on ethical judgments and behavior, examining both their potential benefits and drawbacks. So, first, let us know what is feelings. How do your feelings affect what you think is right or wrong? Or do you think it is okay to make decisions based on your feelings, even if those feelings aren't always logical? Or are some feelings more important than others when it comes to making ethical decisions? So, feeling in general is an emotional state or reaction, experience of physical sensation like feeling of joy, feeling of warmth, love, affection, tenderness, etc. They are subjective, meaning they are personally experienced and interpreted. What one person finds joyful, another might find neutral or even unpleasant. So feelings are instinctive and trained response to moral dilemma. They can be obstacles to making right decisions, but they can also help in making the right decisions. It highlights that feelings are not simply passive experiences, but actively shape our responses to moral dilemmas. They are described as both instinctive or innate natural responses and trained, learned through experience and socialization. So, this duality means our feelings in moral situations are a mix of inherent predispositions and learned behaviors. Sometimes, these feelings can lead to ethically questionable choices or obstacles, while other times they can guide us towards morally sound decisions or it might be helpful. For example, feeling empathy for someone in need might lead to a helpful action, whereas feeling anger might lead to a rash, unethical response.
How do they affect moral decision making? Several studies conclude that up to 90% of the decisions we made are based on emotion. We use logic to justify our actions to ourselves and to others. Researchers also show that actual emotional states can influence the process of moral reasoning and determine moral judgment. So our emotions are the engine driving us, and logic is more like the steering wheel. We use logic to rationalize what our emotions have already decided. Emotional states shape our thinking. Our emotional states can influence the process of moral reasoning and determine moral judgment. It means that our emotions color our perception of right and wrong. If we're feeling angry, we might be more likely to judge someone harshly. If we're feeling happy, we might be more forgiving. Our emotions can actually create biases in our moral reasoning.
Advantages of emotional decision making. First is the speed and efficiency. Emotional responses are significantly faster than rational deliberation. This is particularly beneficial in situations demanding immediate action, such as emergencies or when faced with minimal information. The gut feeling often proves surprisingly accurate, especially for experienced individuals. Second is information processing. Emotions can act as a filter, prioritizing information and streamlining the decision-making process. They can help to code and compact experiences, enabling faster response selection. And lastly, complementary to logic. While logic initiates the decision-making process, emotions often play a crucial role in enabling final selection, particularly when faced with comparable options. They provide the crucial element of intuition and judgment. Second is the disadvantages of emotional decision making. First is the impulsivity and justification. Emotional responses can lead to hasty decisions made without fully understanding the underlying reasons. This often results in the creation of rationalizations to justify poor emotional choices. Second is overriding rationality. The intensity of emotions can override rational decision making, especially when strong feelings are involved. This can lead to errors in judgment and unexpected outcomes. And bias and mistakes. Immediate and unrelated emotions can introduce bias, distort judgments, and ultimately lead to mistakes or reckless actions. Projected emotions or assumptions about future feelings can also lead to inaccurate predictions and poor choices.
According to some linguistic philosophers called emotivists, the statement stealing is wrong is not a statement of fact. It is an expression of a desire or emotion. Emotivism is the view that moral judgment do not function as statements of fact but rather as expression of the speaker's or writer's feeling. Emotional expression are not assertions of what is true or false. They are like expressions of taste. Emotivism suggests morality is subjective, based on personal feelings rather than objective truth.
So think of it like expressing a taste. So if I say chocolate is delicious, I'm not stating an objective truth about chocolate. I'm just saying that I like it. So these are the examples of emotivism. So first is murder is wrong. So it is an expression of intense negative feelings towards murder. It's more like saying I strongly dislike and condemn murder. So there's no claim being made about an objective moral truth. Next is it's good to help others. This isn't a statement of universal objective moral law. Instead, it is expressing a positive feelings about helping others. The speaker is conveying their approval of helping others, not stating a provable fact about its inherent goodness. And lastly, that movie was amazing. You have to see it. So this is clearly an expression of personal enjoyment and a strong recommendation. It's not an objective evaluation of the film's quality based on some universally accepted criteria. So it is a statement of personal feelings. This means that according to emotivism, morality is subjective. What's right or wrong depends on how people feel, not on some objective truth that exists independently of our feelings. It's all about personal opinions and emotions.
Summary. Feelings can be obstacles to making right decisions, but they can also help in making the right decisions. For example, anger might cause someone to lash out unfairly, and while fear could lead into inaction when decisive action is needed. Next, feelings can help persons in making the right decisions if they are reasonably managed. For example, empathy can help us avoid actions that would cause an unnecessary suffering. Next, to be an ethical person, one must manage his or her feelings well. So being an ethical person isn't simply about following rules, it's about developing your emotional intelligence, which allow us to understand and manage our own feelings of others.